Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, winning Wednesday evening. Yo, we're at the end of the day. So what wins did you get to celebrate today? Whew, my day has been, I don't know what, but my eyes are so tired. I'm having problems focusing on my computer screen right now. And I haven't been working on the computer for a bit. And I suddenly looked at the time and went, oh, gotta get to my live. And I totally missed my Zoom at it was the National Genealogical Society had a Zoom meeting tonight, and I totally missed that. I got tied up walking Zephy tonight, so yeah. But anyway, so how was your day? What wins did you get to celebrate today? I had an awesome accountability call, which I spoke about in my Zoom this morning, my live this morning. I'm getting lives and Zooms and everything mixed up. I suppose my eyes aren't really red. There a little bit. Then I was playing around with Zephy. Been playing around with Zephy a lot. And I get her up on the bed because it's easier for me to stand there and play with her when she's on the bed because she's so small that when she does stand on her hind legs, she comes up to her front legs like, when does she get me? Just on my stomach. And so when I get her on the bed, she can actually get her paws on my shoulders. And so I said to her today, she's rolling around on the bed and, playing and all that sort of stuff. And so then I said, Zephy, hug. And she gets into her sitting position and comes up on her back legs and puts her paws both on one shoulder. And I'm like, good girl. And it's the first time I have done a hug with her like that. I've given her that command to do that. And so I'm like, yes, one of those other ones that she just suddenly knows. And so she had both paws up here. And I tried to lift one paw to put it on the other side to show her the hug. And she pulls a paw away and sits back down again. And anytime I tried to touch her, like to give her a hug, she'd sit back down again. But she's getting better because this evening when we were playing, I did the same thing with her again. And this time she got the paws here, but still kept her body away. Like she didn't come up close for a hug and she still wouldn't let me put my hands on her sides, but not pull her in for a hug. So we're learning. She's learning that one. She even hit her hungry button tonight for food. It was awesome. She's standing there looking at her bowl and I go, what's the matter? I said, do you need food? And she just looks up at me and looks back at the bowl again. And I go, well, why don't you tell me? And she looks at the bowl, looks up at me, and I point at her button and she's trying to put her hand on my hand, her paw on my hand and I go, no. Press the button. And so she reaches over and just presses the button. And so I gave her food straight away. She's like, She looks at her food, looks up at me, looks at the button, looks at the food, looks up at me, and walks away. But she was back a couple of minutes later eating. She walks down, looks at the treat button, and then gets up onto the dashboard. Then she comes back and starts eating her dinner. So I think she's trying to work out what's the difference between these two buttons, which is fine because I didn't do any training with her last night on the button. Was it last night or the night before? Yeah, she was sitting whining and over there by the button whining. And I go, what do you want? And she just start whining more. And I go, if you don't tell me what you want, I can't give you anything. And I look down at the button. And out of pure frustration at one point, she goes over to the button and she just goes whack, 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 whack with her paw. The thing didn't even get a chance to talk because she's just whacking her paw on this thing out of total frustration. It was hilarious. But yeah, so she's learned to hug today. She's figured out her hungry button. We just got to figure out the treat button, not have her just whack the crap out of it like she does. We're going through a few of those buttons if she keeps doing that. But tonight, the first time in a long time, I got creative in the kitchen tonight. So that's my win for today is I got creative in the kitchen. And usually I've got my little air fryer there and it's sitting on top of my cooktop and I could take it off and then go dig the pots out and it's just like but it's a Pampered Chef air fryer, and they have a little baking tray, a stoneware baking tray that's like about 8 inches by 6 inches, and I've got these portobello mushroom caps that are about this big. Excuse me, and because I've been craving mushrooms lately, and so I got them, and I thought I'm going to have one of those tonight. And I was like, oh, what would I do with it? And so I'm like sitting here this afternoon while I'm working, and I keep thinking about everyone. I've got the pastrami that's left over. I've got eggs. I've got some cheese. What if I do some sort of dish with that? And so I whipped up the eggs, beat the eggs tonight, and I poured them into the dish. And I'm looking at the dish, and there's like about this much space to the top. And I'm like, that's not going to let me put the mushroom in there. And because it will then overflow. And then I can't get the pastrami in there, can't get the cheese in there. And I'm like, So I grabbed a clean bowl, poured the eggs into the bowl, and rearranged it so the mushroom went in first, and it was the underside up. And then I layered the pastrami around that, and then I sprinkled the cheese around that, and then I poured the egg over the whole lot, and everything fitted beautifully, looked fantastic. Stuck it in the air fryer on bake for about 20 minutes, I think it was. Yeah, 20 minutes. It came out, it looked amazing. And I checked under the mushroom, and there was still some liquid egg in there that hadn't been cooked yet. And so I was like, what can I do with it? I thought, I know. And so I cut slits in the pieces of the egg that were cooked, so the wet egg could then flow out into the other pieces. Then I flipped the mushroom upside down, so it's now stuffed with pastrami and cheese. Flipped it upside down so the top of the cap is showing. Put it back in the oven, and the whole thing rose up the side, and put it back in for 10 minutes. And the whole thing rose up the side of the mushroom. So you had this beautiful puffy looking egg, and then this cap sticking out of the middle of it. And it was really good. And so I'm using Carb Manager to track this thing while I'm on this 30-day challenge. That whole dish had, the whole dish, like I'm talking the 8x6, had 4 grams of carbs in it. Because I put in, the large portobello mushroom, put that in there, put in the cheese, put in the pastrami, put in the eggs, and it came to 4 grams for that whole dish. I'm like, oh, yes. It was like 60 grams of protein. I'm like, yes. And what was the other one? 52 grams of fat. So when you go on the paleo, it's meant to be 30% carbs, 30% protein, and 40% fat for the whole day's intake, how it's all portioned out. So I'm like, yes, I made a big dent in my protein today. Yay! I made a little dent in the carbs. Yay! Because protein, I've been having an issue getting protein in, so I was really happy to get that in today. And I've started having protein shakes throughout the day to help boost the protein as well and keep the carbs down and that sort of thing too. So it was a good day food-wise, and that dish was a win. And I seasoned it with turmeric, a little bit of ground mustard, and a pinch of ginger. And it was really good. I'm a person who doesn't do spicy food, so but that was just enough. Did not put any salt in it. Trying to keep the sodium levels down, especially with the amount of water I'm drinking. Yeah, we don't want any sodium. But it was a really good dish. And Zephy got little bits of the egg, and she enjoyed those too. So she had a win. She got eggs today. She loves eggs. So she got some eggs. So that was really good. But it turned out really, really good. I was really proud of that. So I still have another mushroom cap left, but I got no pastrami left. So I'll have to figure out some other protein. But I do have some turkey. I'll put that in there. What else do I have? I think turkey's the only cold meats I have right now. But I get the meats that are the uncured ones, with grass-fed and all that sort of thing. So I'll have to figure that one out. Turkey might work, but it turned out really good. I hadn't been that creative in the kitchen in a long while. And Brad used to ask me, what's for dinner? I go, Helen special. And he was still like, oh crap. Because most of the time it worked and it turned out good and the food tasted good, but there was the odd one or two, and there was sort of like, how is it? And he goes, okay. And then whenever he said okay, he always said it in the same tone every single time. And then my response to his okay was always, okay, yes, I really, really want this again. Please make it again. Okay, it's okay for this once, maybe again. Or okay, just this once, but never make it again. Those were my 3 options I would give him, and then he would give me his feedback on that one. But he wasn't a mushroom fan, so he wouldn't have liked that one. But yeah, so I used to be quite creative in the kitchen, and I've been shying away from that a little bit. It's but it felt really good. It felt really good to be back in the kitchen and just creating something, just going, oh, put this together, put that together. Oh, let's see what spices. So, but I have been able to look at recipes to me, unless it's for baking, recipes for cooking, Of foundation. That's it. That's all they're there for, is just the foundation. And they give me the cooking temperatures, and yeah. So they're just there for the foundation. I go creative. Like, I'll take a recipe and go creative. And I remember Chris, the middle son, getting upset with me one time because I never made mac and cheese the same way twice. And he goes, "Oh, this is a really good one. What did you put in?" I go, "Oh, a little bit of this and a little bit of that." And he goes, "Why can't you write it down?" I says, "I just go with whatever inspiration inspires me at the time." I said, "It's never the same way twice." And we actually made one. I made one time that was gluten-free and dairy-free. And the younger son was very picky at the time. And he had 2 helpings of the thing before we told him that there was no milk in there, no cheese in there, no grain, no regular pasta, that it was all gluten-free and dairy-free and all of that. Before he was sort of like, no. He didn't believe us. He did. Brad told him, and he was like, no. And he'd already had 2 helpings of this mac and cheese, and was looking to go back for a third. So yes, I can make completely gluten-free and dairy-free mac and cheese, and it can taste amazing. But it's been a long time since I've made mac and cheese, so I'd have to get back in with the regular mac and cheese first and just work my way back up again. But yeah, I really enjoyed getting into the kitchen tonight and creating something from scratch. Going, oh, I've got this mushroom. What am I going to do with it? Because I was just going to, like, throw some butter into the cap and let it bake in the oven and all of that. And I was like, let's get a little more creative. Let's make it a meal in a dish. So we did. And it turned out great. So I get to have cold leftovers for breakfast tomorrow. Yay. But anyway, so those are my wins for today. Had a good day on the help desk. And, and I got my water softener. Got my water softener ordered, along with all of my discounts and everything. They had whatever going on with their system, so got everything all sorted out, and it will be here either Tuesday or Wednesday next week. Won't be here at the RV. It'll be at my mail place, getting them delivered to the mail place, because deliveries to here in the park, Amazon Prime does really good at doing deliveries exactly to the right site. Other delivery services although I haven't had any problems with UPS or FedEx, but there are some delivery services that come in here and don't know the way around the park. They don't leave it at the right, they just dump it on a doorstep somewhere. And I see the messages coming through on a daily basis in the Facebook group for the resort, who is such and such, your packages at such and such a place. I'm so like, really? They couldn't deliver it to the right place? And they go, or they will actually walk the package over. There was one time, one Amazon delivery did get it mixed up one time. They delivered it to the place next door, and she said, "I didn't order anything from Amazon." And she saw the name on it and saw the site number, which was very clear on there. So she walked it over and delivered it. So there was one time that Amazon didn't do that, but they were only one site off. Not like some of these are like several rows off. Like they may drop it off on 15th Street and it's meant to be at 25th Street or something like that. So, well off. So yeah, we had a lot of mix-ups. I thought, well, to make sure I don't get any mix-ups with this, I'm having it delivered to my mailbox, and I will go pick it up from there. So as soon as I get that message in that it's there, I will make sure I get there before 5 o'clock to pick it up. And but today, we had another win. Well, I'm not sure if it's a win or not, because the weather forecast said it was meant to be 61 degrees, which I was totally fine with. I was like, yes. They said we would have wind, which we did. And they said we'd also have a high chance, we were like 87% chance of rain. When Zephy and I went for a walk this morning, there were dark clouds. It was threatening to rain. We didn't get one single drop. By the time we got back, the clouds were gone. The sun was out. It stayed out all day. We topped out at 61 degrees like they said we would. We didn't even need the AC on today. It didn't get overly hot in here. We had the windows open. The breeze was going through. The winds were a little too strong to put the awning out. But we had no rain today. Don't know what happened to the rain, but we had the 61 degrees, and I was perfectly fine to sit here with the window open, having a nice breeze coming on me, and excuse me, blowing in, and at least it wasn't strong enough to get the dust and stuff blowing. Although my sinuses are telling me we did get some in here. I hate that. Getting nice temperatures outside and you can't open the windows because the allergy stuff comes in. But anyway, overall it was a good day. I call it a win. So anyway, I'm out of here. I still got to go do my 30 minutes of writing today. So go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Thankful Thursday. Hei konera.